Hello, good afternoon Margot.
Good afternoon, how are you?
I am GuillaumeDePaepe, that is Pieter.
Hi.
Hi.
Is it good if we ask you some questions concerning your study abroad in England at Regent's University?
That's right. Go ahead.
Okay, perfect. So what made you choose for London, and was it an obvious decision or did you have any doubts?
So basically I did my undergrad in Belgium, in Ghent, at the Hogeschool Ghent. And then afterwards I did a student exchange to Madrid. And when I returned back to Belgium, I decided to study abroad again. And then I was looking at the different opportunities, which were Paris, Milano, and London. And then in the end I chose London because of the course.
So you didn't choose a city above your course?
No, it was for me more important to have an interesting master with the courses that I thought were interesting. So it was not because of the city.
Yeah, okay, very interesting. What is the big difference between Belgium and England? Or do you see London not really as England, but as an individual state?
I would say that's true because London is a very international city, while if you would go to other parts of England, you would definitely not find the same mentality that they have here. The basic difference with Belgium and England, or rather London, is that people in London are much more open-minded. They have more space for new ideas, and they want to try out new approaches, while in Belgium you have a very narrow-minded approach. So yeah, I think that's a big difference there.
And would you say that people in England are more friendly than in Belgium or not?
Basically, I don't think that you can actually say people in England, because in London you have over more than 100 nationalities, and everyone has a different culture, so they will react differently on things. While in Belgium, let's say overall you have 80% of Belgian people, so they'll have their own character.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't say necessarily that they're more friendly, but yeah, they are quite friendly, and I have a good feeling here.
Okay.
Yeah, perfect.
So you mentioned that you studied in Ghent at the Hogeschool. So now you're studying at Regent. So what are the main three differences, purely based on education, when you compare those two?
Alright, first of all, I will say I have a lot more international professors. Let's say I have 6 courses right now. I have someone who's from Italy, from China, Russia, even Poland, and only one from the UK. So basically, when I was studying at the Hogeschool of Ghent, all of my professors had a Belgian background. Maybe some of them they'd been abroad and education somewhere else, but most of them hadn't. So basically, their whole idea is a Belgium idea, not very international. Second, looking at my master, I'm in a smaller group of people in my classroom. So when I was studying at the Hogeschool Ghent, I think I had like around 25, 30, maybe even 40 people. While now I have classes of 15 people, which is a lot more focused. Everybody has his own opinion, will talk, and there's no one really left out. While studying Ghent, you could just be invisible and nobody would talk. The third difference would be I have a much more focused course right now. Maybe that's also due to my master, but also due to the approach my university has. So they want to give everyone a very international approach, more focused. We do a lot of like field trips. While studying Ghent, it would contain going to class every week, every day, which is not very interesting or very liberating. So I think that's a big difference as well.
Okay.
So nextly, how is the behavior towards foreigners? Do you easily accept the other ways of thinking, or do you have problems with that?
I definitely don't have problems with that. I think it's a lot more interesting to study with other people from different countries. You get their ideas, and at that point you just discuss them, and that makes every course so much more interesting because of their different backgrounds, and they will have another experience in I don't know which other bachelor they studied before. While when you study in Belgium, everybody is Belgium, unfortunately, and they will mostly have the same mind on stuff. So yeah, definitely studying with foreigners is very interesting. way of studying.
So I can say you like listening to other people's stories, what they studied before and what their life was in another culture and another country.
Yeah, definitely. Sometimes you can even say that it's just weird that people have such a different opinion on things, while for them it's just normal, and that makes everything so much more interesting because you will get into discussions, you will get to know this or that culture better. Yeah, definitely.
So it's a great opportunity to expand your network.
Obviously, yeah. I think in my university in London, we're with like 50 or 60 different nationalities from all over the world. In my master, which we are with 80 people, I only have 2 people from Belgium, and from people from all over Europe, the US, South Asia, even Australia. So yeah, that's really interesting.
About the cost of living. Is it possible for anyone to go to London and study there or do an internship? Or do you reckon it takes rather wealthy people to go there?
Yeah, I mean, it's a pretty subjective question you asked there, but yeah, obviously studying and working in London is not a possibility for everyone. Life costs are really high. Only going to do groceries or even wanting to like enjoy your student life is a lot higher than in Ghent or whatever city in Belgium. But of course, there are like possibilities that you like work or study at the same time and then get some money out of that, and then you can try to live and maintain your life standards here in London. But definitely, it's not as easy as living in Ghent.
So nextly, moving abroad, is it a burden or is it a gift for you? How do you prepare yourself to go abroad? Do you have preparations? Do you do before or what do you do?
Basically, I would definitely consider it a gift. When I started my bachelor's in Ghent, I wasn't really keen on studying abroad, and then I went to Madrid for 6 months, which was so liberating. It was illuminating. I got to get so much experiences, and when I got back to Belgium, I was just like, no, this is not for me. I would love to really experience other cultures, other ways of living. And then I looked for other opportunities, and going abroad was definitely the best opportunity for me. And I would definitely recommend it to everyone who has the possibility or the opportunity to go abroad to do it and experience everything that there is to experience.
So, but for example, you have like a checklist, like things you do before you leave.
Mm-hmm.
Can you give some examples?
A checklist before you leave.
Like I need to do that or that before. When you come in your new guest culture, what do you do first? You move in. You try to first meet new people, or you settle in. You how can you say which approach you use when you arrive?
All right. Let's say a starter kit is basically find your accommodation before you get there. I had my accommodation before I got to Madrid or London, which was very comforting because there's so much more new things to experience. And if you still need to find where you're going to live, that makes everything so much more stressful. Second, I would recommend to explore your city, look online, what are the places you want to go to, are there museums, are there places that a lot of maybe Belgian people go to, whatever. Another point before you leave would be maybe get in touch with people who already are in the city that you're going to. Maybe contact them, ask them for some recommendations. What would they like? What do they like doing? Maybe you can meet up with them, and in that way you can get to know new people through them. And it's less stressful than going to a place by yourself and getting to try new and know new people.
Okay, thank you.
So your study ends in September at Regent University, is that correct?
That's right.
Okay. And will you stay in London or start working or study something else? Where do you see yourself in 6 months?
Obviously, it's not really easy to make up my mind right now because I still need to finish my dissertation, and so that will indeed finish in September. once I do get my diploma, I do hope that I can still study here for another year and do a business school, because basically in London there's a lot of really, really good ran business schools, and I am interested in extending my knowledge one more year. So let's say in 6 months, I hope to be studying in London, if possible, of course, because you never know what Brexit's going to happen, going to bring us. So yeah, definitely studying and doing an MBA or PhD. Depends on what field I want to go into.
So now, to end this interview, we have one more question. Would you recommend the Regent University to anybody? Or do you say it has good features, bad features? What would you say?
Well, I think that's pretty personal. For me, I study a master's in luxury brand management. So basically, if you want to study this course, I think Regent University is the right place to do it. They have a good range of very interesting professors who have different backgrounds. So that's definitely a positive part. The second one is definitely their extremely large scale of nationalities. I have people now from all over the world who study there, which is really interesting. I don't think that every uni in London has that. Maybe a negative part is studying in London, whatever uni you are going to, is very expensive. So if you're not on a scholarship, I would not recommend studying in London, or even at Regent University. So that's a negative factor. Thirdly, I would say it's a really good place to study because people are very friendly. It's on a good location. It's basically in the center of London, so you get there really easily. I mean, I would definitely recommend it, but you need to consider that it's not as cheap as studying in Belgium necessarily.
Okay, perfect. So I would like to thank you very much for this interview and for your time, and I hope that everything works out perfectly. Thank you.
I want to wish you the same. Thank you a lot for this interview.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.